Hi Virgo, so nice to see you. Polina here talking to you about the month of June. Now I'm not in India, I'm actually in Auckland City. I'm just waiting for my flight is tomorrow. I'm just killing some time here. So let's talk about you in June. Okay, so Virgo would have known better if they didn't know worse. What I mean by that, occasionally there's a part of you that we do not like but you think is good. There might be a part of you that's very conservative, and you might take great pride in that part that just says, no, I know what's best. I know what's the best. I know what's good. I know what fits. You know, I know what's the most conservative, what's the prettiest, what's the nicest thing. Like, you kind of know the ideal, and for yourself maybe it is true, but for many of us we actually get really concerned for you when you become really caught up in the details of life. So when you are here in June, you might need to slow down. There might be a part of you that says, I know the best yoga poses, or like, I know all the best handmade chocolate brands, or I know all the best ways to, say for example, organize a wedding. I know all the best cake makers. I know. And basically what happens during June is we get really sick of you really fast. So for example, if you're one of those Virgos that wants to do this, you know, and say like, I know the best religion, you know, I know the best way of life, I know the best smoothie bar, I know the best lifestyle choice, you're going to be shifted out. So for example, if you are with somebody, like a group of people or just with one person, and you really want to teach them and you really want to know them more, by offering your help and your service and your advice about the things that you feel that you know more about, you will find that awful things happen. Like, say you might sit with somebody and you give them great advice, what you think is great advice on, like, say raw food, and you might be sitting there at the cafe for like 2 or 3 hours, you know, and you're telling them everything that you know about raw, you know, biscuits, and you know everything about raw cakes, and then you get really upset about how people don't know about this, and how much you know, and how much your parents struggle with the terrible diets, and how much of a change that you're going to make. And you might even have an interview like that, like a date or some kind of like a job where you're showing how much you know and how much detail you can put into things and how much you can explain, but for some reason it's like falling on deaf ears. And you might say, for example, spend 2 or 3 hours at a cafe telling somebody about what you know, and then they don't call you back, or they call you back and say, yeah, so I was thinking about hiring you for this job. We actually just found somebody. I'm so sorry. I just went with my mate. And you might actually find that the person that gets chosen, or the energy that gets chosen over you, over your expertise, is really annoying. Like, it's annoying. Like, say the person just walks in, you know, they know nothing. For example, you want to work at the smoothie bar and you know everything about raw eating. And you think, if it's not me, if I don't get hired, who the hell will? I am like the guru of raw food. And then when you see who gets hired, you become appalled. You're like, this person knows nothing about food. Or like, this person doesn't even look fit enough to like do yoga. They don't even look fit enough to be a raw person. You know, they don't even look good enough to do this. And you might feel very jealous or very frustrated or infuriated that the places where you want to be are taken by people that you feel are perhaps a little bit of a mismatch, or a lot of a mismatch. You might actually find that the people that get offered for jobs or take your place, or even take the person that you've wanted to date, are like this. You know, it's a very prime time to shift out of a relationship and to find that your ex is dating somebody else who's like this in comparison to you. You may feel that suddenly, like, the person that you've given a lot to, or this job where you've given a lot to, where you got like fired or told to go, or you know, anything like that happened, you might actually find that who replaces you is the polar opposite of you, you think. You know, they are like, kind of like, don't worry about it, and then like, I just rock up and I just do it. And it might be very depressing for you to know that all you had to do is that. Like, all you had to do is just sort of, just kind of rock up and not care. All you had to do to work at this amazing juice bar is just to show up and be yourself. All you had to do to be with that perfect guy or girl was just to show up and just tell them that you don't really care about relationships. All you had to do to generate that beautiful community was just to show up in your like old sweatpants and a t-shirt and say, yeah, Hi. Hi. I don't know nothing. And if you say wanted to be a yoga instructor, you don't actually have to show them how good you are at yoga. You just had to shake their hand and look them in the eye. And for some reason during this time in June, take advantage of this. Okay, take advantage of this. We know you before you say anything. And we already trust that you know. Because when your eyes speak, Virgo, and you probably don't believe this, but you shake a hand, you look them in the eye, and that's it. That's all. That's all there is. It's already like done deal. You know, done deal. Like you look us in the face. Like you shake the hand of the person that interviews you, you kiss on the cheek that person that you're on the first date with, and they already know. It's already done. The deal is done. So all you got to do is just relax, because for some reason we can read you beyond even talking to you. We can already read you. We can already comprehend everything that you're going to say. And that's hard because you sometimes go overboard. And then like either the person already likes you or they don't like you straight away. And there's nothing they can do about it. But the more you talk and the more you proclaim and the more you try to argue who you are, the less the people that you are dependent on, that your next step is dependent on, and there's going to be a few people that you're sort of dependent on during this time, the less they're going to really notice what you give. And they might even wipe you away. They might wipe you clean. They might wipe you into a different dimension. They might just look at you once or twice, and they may not really see what you've got to offer, and you might waste your breath or waste your time telling them how much more you can provide, or how well you're doing, or how intense or amazing your gifts are, or what you can create for people, or what you've done in the past. And you can foam at the mouth explaining, but at the same time people are not gonna trust. So the better thing is simple. Dress down. You go into a job interview, dress down. You go into a date, dress down. Show up how you would show up for yourself. Like how you would show up for yourself. Don't do it on purpose. Like say if you don't usually wear sloppy clothes, don't start wearing sloppy clothes. But say if you feel comfortable in just like sweatpants and like a hoodie and you go to first date, show up like that. If you are going to a work interview, say for example you really wanted this job and it's very, very likely that something's going to come up. Like, ooh, twinkling. Something's going to come up this month. So you got something twinkling and you're like turning up. Make sure you don't talk too much. Give them your CV, and the CV has to be as simple and legible as possible, and it's very laid out very simply. Just trust that your CV's got all the info. Sit there and look at them for a while. Eyes speak a lot more than mouths can during this particular June. So take that opportunity. Like you show up, you just, you know, hi, this is my face, these are my eyes, that's me smiling, this is my CV, so good to meet you. Very nice to meet new people, new groups, and new frontiers for yourself if you can handle it. If you can't handle it, we can kind of know. Like say if you turn up and we can see that you're too nervous or too passionate about this job, you need it too much, or you need the money little but you need the status more, or you know, you want people to respect you straight away as soon as you walk through the door. It's over, it's done. So basically lay back because you are the best when you are. Thank you very much, Virgo. That's pretty much all. Food, commitments, training, yoga, excessive exercise, watch out for that, and try and be simple and pleasurable to yourself. And if you'd like to know more about me and yourself, have a look at the links below and you can book a reading if you like, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.